Let's make some catfish stew. I know you probably going, what? Anyway, it don't matter, right? Let's just make some catfish stew. It's time to eat something. Alright, for catfish stew, the first thing you're going to need to do is marinate your catfish, and you can use catfish fillets like I have, or you can get fancy and use the steaks, you know, catfish steaks. It's all up to you. It's your meal, you know. And you're going to need, you got to have you some jasmine rice, honey. It's going to be so good over some rice. Alright. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and cut these strips up. Right? And what do we do while we doing that? We sing, right? Let's cook, let's eat. Hey, everybody repeat. It's Vittle's time. Alright, and I'm also going to put some shrimp in mine. So I already got some shrimp. And I'm not going to pre-season them. I'll just rinse them off, you know. I'm not going to pre-season them. Alright, so I've been having something bugging the heck out of me for the last week and a half. And I've been going back and forth over whether I should say something to y'all or not. Right, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it. So what's bugging me is me telling my story, right? So apparently someone is in a situation that I was in, oh my god, decades ago. And I do mean freaking decades ago, honey. And the situation goes like this: ending up in an abusive relationship on the rebound. Right, sounds like a sermon. It really does. But I ended up in an abusive relationship on the rebound. Alright, I sure did. Alright, so we got these cut into little squares. That's how you want it. Just little squares, just like that. So I hope you saw what I did, because I did it. Alright, let's move on. Alright, let's say our prayer before we get more in depth on the story. Alright, Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for your love, your grace, and your mercy. Thank you for protecting us from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. And thank you for carrying us into your mission for our lives. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Amen. And thank you for healing. Alright, y'all. So, have you checked in on yourself? If you haven't, then now is the time to do so. Right? Now's a great time to do so. And check in on the ones that you love. And if you don't love nobody, just make sure you check in on you. That's all I got to say about that. Let's cook. Hey, let's eat. What? Everybody repeat. It's Vittle's time. Alright, so here's the story. So, I ended up in an abusive relationship on the rebound. How I ended up there, the previous relationship that I had got into, the guy, he actually was helping build my self-esteem, right? Because I grew up with very low self-esteem. My parents did not contribute to me having a good level of self-esteem. It was actually the opposite, right? So, I always felt less than. I was taught that my job, I was put on earth to serve, right? Literally serve man. Serve mankind. And it went for, you know, anybody. Wherever I went, I was taught that it was embedded in me to serve. Always be freaking serving. I didn't even know what it felt like to be served. That's the crazy part. So anyway, this guy come along. I'm in college, right? In nursing school. And he really, really likes me, but we're young, and he allowed his friends to talk him into not being with me. Ain't that crazy? And I know you say, can't nobody do that? The people that are around you can influence you away from your own personal choices. Trust me, it can happen. It happened to me. It really did. I promise you it did. Alright, so I'm going to fast forward through that relationship. We'll double back and talk about that relationship at a later date. But we're going to talk about the abusive relationship. How I was abused mentally, physically, and emotionally. How whatever little bit of self-esteem I did have, how it quickly went out the window. Okay, so the guy that I was truly in love with, right? He broke up with me so he could be with somebody else. Right? And I end up meeting the next guy. Not too much longer after that. I was in a vulnerable state, right? And this guy acted as if he really, really liked me and wanted to be with me and blah, 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 blah. He said, you know, it's easy for people to say everything that you want to hear, and they will put on a front in the beginning of a relationship to make you feel like you are the only one. Right? Why they do their dirt behind closed doors. So, end up dating this guy, right? He ended up moving in with me. Yeah, he moved in with me. Yes, I am a sinner saved by grace. For all you judgmental people that got something to say, oh my gosh, you was shacking up. I shacked up a multiplicity of times. And it's some crap your tail done as well. How about that? How about that? We all fall short. Alright, so this guy was introducing me to his friends, and we were having fun. We were going out on dates and enjoying each other's company, right? Now, back then, I didn't know no better. So I asked the guy, he had any kids. Of course, you know, I think at that time, he only told me he had a daughter, right? He had one daughter, was the lie he told, because trust me, it was a lie, baby. I soon learned differently. But anyway, so, this is back before social media and cell phones and all of this stuff. This is way back then. It was, cell phones were out, but they wasn't at the capacity that they are now. Beepers were more relevant. We had beepers is what we had, you know, pagers. So a person could page you. Anyway, so this is a bell pepper. In case you're wondering, you want to chop up an onion and a bell pepper. All right. And then get your stock pot to heating up. You want to start it warming up. And I already got some celery that I keep in the freezer, so I'm going to use some of that. So you're going to need the Holy Trinity is what you're going to want. Okay. Anywho, so fast forward through the dating part. I'm going to get to the first time he hit me. The very first time he hit me. So I was at home and it got to be late. He had told me he was going over to his parents' home so he could watch wrestling with his dad. I'm not opposed to anyone doing something that's going to make them happy. That's just who I am. And I trust easy back then. Now, I'm so sorry for everybody else, baby. I don't trust that easy no more. But I was like a little lamb. No lie. I trust very easy. So he said he was going over there watch the wrestling with his dad. And I said, okay. So it got to be late. It got to be very late at night. And the later it got, I got a little bit worried. I say, well, I need to go and wake him up. Because I was calling and wasn't, you know, no one was answering the phone. So I figured everyone was asleep or whatnot, right? So I said, well, let me drive over there and wake him up. It's a small town, so the drive is not that far. So let me go wake him up so he can come home, get in the bed, so he can get up and be to work on time in the morning. Right? Alright, so I drive my tail over there, right? This is olive oil, so you want to coat the bottom of the pan, your stock pot with some olive oil. You can put a little butter in there if you want to, or whatever oil, but you want to make sure you get some oil in there. Alright? And get your onion, bell pepper. What I want to saute first? Yeah, onion and bell pepper. So we get those in there first. Got some of that onto the stove. So anyway, when I get over there, I go over to the house, right, to wake him up. I'm on a mission. Make sure my man's straight. Chad, surprises laid in the, was waiting on me. That's all I'm gonna use. Just a handful of celery. So we got our Holy Trinity in there. And I'm going to add, because I want it spicy, I'm going to add in a couple of habaneros. I'm just going to put in 2 habaneros. And I keep those in the freezer as well. Make sure y'all got some light. so when I get over there, I see two shadows run down the side of the house. Well, one run into the house and one run down the side of the house. And I was like, what was that? Maybe I was just seeing things. You know how your mind can play tricks on you sometimes? But honestly, at that point, I wasn't thinking that he was cheating. I promise you I didn't. My mind wasn't nowhere on that, you know. I'm treating people how I want to be treated, so I was expecting the same from others. That's basically what I was doing, okay? I was in school, honey, baby. School, you hear me? School of hard knocks. This is rosemary that I pulled from the garden, and I'm just pulling the leaves off of that. All right, that's all I'm doing. Anyway, so I pull up, I jump out the car, not in hysteria, but in shock. So I'm asking, who was that? Who was that? Nobody. Let's just go. Let's just go. I was like, but I still need to know who it was. And so that person walks back away from the side of the house, right? And I say, who are you? Ask him. It's a female, right? Ask him. Like that. And I said, ask him. I said, who is it? And I'm not going to say his name because that would be giving him authority in this day and time in my life, and he has zero. I mean, literally, me being able to tell the story is me actually, I've grown past it. And I do mean to tell you, I have grown past it 1,000 years. But somebody needs to hear it because for the last week and a half, that's all I've been hearing. Tell the story, tell the story. So anyway, here we are. So he said, let's go. And I'm like, not until you tell me who she is. He still wouldn't tell me. So he jumps in the car with me, right? He leaves the car that he drove over there. He leaves that there, but he jumps in the car with me. And he's driving. And we turn on this little side street. And I say, tell me who it was. And he wouldn't, so I threw the car in park. I actually threw the car in park while we were driving. And it upset him, so he punched me in my chest he balled up his fist and punched me in my chest so hard. It literally was in the sternum. He punched me so freaking hard that I lost my breath and I was in total shock at this point. So not only have I found out that you are a cheater, you are an abuser as well. Okay? And down the rabbit hole I went from there. He started apologizing. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You made me do it. I am so sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you. Don't stop asking me questions. So we go back to the house and I'm like, I have no more questions at this point because I'm back in an abusive situation. I grew up in being abused as a kid. So my mind just went back to being a child, basically, being honest with you, right? So I'm like, I don't know what to do, right? And most people that's getting abused never open their mouth. I was one. I did not open my mouth. I said nothing to anyone because I already felt like I was just thrown to the wolves. Alright, so we're going to add in 1 bag of okra, frozen okra. And while that cooks, I'm going to cook the slime out of it. So I'm going to crank the heat up. And then we're going to cut some sausage up and talk. Okay, so where was I? He apologizing. Ain't about, sorry y'all, I'm about to start cooking. He ain't about nothing. You know? So you're being abused, you don't open your mouth because you just got all these thoughts in your head. You really literally had the literal self-esteem. Whatever little bit of self-esteem I had, it was not clean, smooth out of me. I stayed in that relationship for 3 years. 3 freaking years. Right? And this person was going around my family and I'm acting like everything was copacetic when it was not. I promise you, it was not. He was the devil himself, reincarnated in human flesh. That was an evil man. Evil. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Ain't about nothing, child. Y'all out there mad because people get abortions. That one should have been an abortion. Now, I don't apologize. Anybody that mistreat another human to the point of putting a gun, and I'm fast forwarding in the story right now, putting a gun to their head, telling them that they will never leave them, that person ain't even worth, they not worth the air. You understand me? That Jehovah has set forth for us to breathe. And I'm just saying it is what it is. Maybe they a whole different human being at this point. But the human being that they were back then, I want a little mushroom in mine. The human being that they was back then wasn't about nothing. You understand me? Nothing about nothing. Anyway, so he got so comfortable in being an abuser, he would leave on Friday, come back on Monday. And I better not say nothing. Then it progressed from there to every time he went out and cheated, he would come back and wake me up, hitting me, cussing me out, calling me everything but a child of God. That's how I knew when he would have, you know, been out with somebody else. He would come back and I would be the most disgusting thing that has ever set foot on the face of earth. I was called ugly and it's just all kind of stuff. Oh wow, no lie. I was doing double shifts at Negative Parish Hospital because that's the city I was in. I was doing double shifts there in the OB ward. I was an OB tech, so I went to nursing school. So I worked in OB delivering babies. I would do double shifts, and while I'm doing double shifts, he would get a lot of his cheating in, right? So it got so bad that the person he was cheating on me with, which was the young lady, right? I eventually found out that he was living with her prior to coming into my life. He left her to be with me. So he was a serial moocher. I forgot what they call them. Serial, is it serial? It's definitely serial cheater, but they do something to keep a roof over their head, right? And it doesn't matter who keeping the roof over their head, they just do it. So it's just evilness. It's a narcissistic behavior. Okay, so I hope whoever I'm telling this to is taking heed to what, you know, where this story is going to go. You know, eventually I did leave, and I'll tell you how I got out. Alright, so he would come in, beat me, and I don't mean just like a punch. I mean live with someone that literally wakes you up out of the dead of your sleep, beating you, hitting you in your head, and punching you in your back chest and kicking you. Just imagine that. That's torture. I literally was living in hell. People talk about, oh, heaven and hell, when you die you're gonna go to hell. People are living in hell right now on this earth. Who the hell want to live in hell and then die and go to hell? There's just too much hell. You understand what I'm saying? But I always dreamed of a better life, and I always dreamed of getting away from that. I stayed dreaming that all the freaking time. It's like, Stacy, you're not going to stay here forever. You're not going to stay in this. You got to get out of this. When you going to get out of this? And I always used to remember that thought coming into my head. And my relationship with Christ now is not what it was then. I grew up a preacher's kid. And yes, I knew who Christ was, but I didn't have the in-depthness of what he could do for me. You know what I'm saying? If I put the left foot in front of the right foot. He wasn't going to do it for me. I literally had to put the work in to get myself out of that situation. I just had to learn. You can call on God all you want, but until you put your works with your faith, you ain't going to go nowhere but stay in total turmoil. So a song came, and that was R. Kelly. And I'm telling you, I stayed praying. I used to sit on that couch every day and cry, Lord, please deliver me from this. I hate my life. I tried to commit suicide, y'all. I wanted to go, but the pills did not work. I hated life. You understand me? I freaking hated it. I hated him. I hated myself. I thought that I was the ugly, ugly, ugly duckling. Self-esteem so low. You don't understand. I literally had no self-esteem. I had quit working at the hospital, and I started working for this pharmacy. It was called University Pharmacy. And I remember going in, and the young lady that worked there, her name Kelly Price, and she said, he hit you again. Like, she literally, she had been keeping, you don't know who's watching you, right? She had been keeping track. She would know when I was in a happy mood. She would know I was in a sad mood. Because maybe she had already been through it, right? But we growing up in a society, don't tell it. Don't you tell the story. Don't tell the story. Why not? We have to expose these demons. If we don't expose the demons, then who? Right? And then we're going to continue to watch somebody else go through the exact same thing that we went through when we know we lived in hell. Why not? Hey, at least I can warn you and say, look, if they hit you one time, leave. Don't wait around on the second, don't wait around on the third, baby. If they hit you one time, it was intentional and they meant what the freak they was doing. If they call you out your name one time, it was intentional and they knew what the French dough they was doing. You understand me? Pain is intentional. So that's some stuff that they need to go and address on their own. You cannot help anyone grow up. Okay, you just can't. I'm a living witness that you cannot. So I quit and I started working at the pharmacy, and she said, he hit you again. I could barely walk. I could barely open my jaw. My face was swole. My side was swole. I was hurt, right? It took days to not hurt. And like, good Lord. Yeah, good Lord. Good freaking Lord. But when R. Kelly started that song, he made a song called When a Woman's Fed Up. I didn't hear a church song that brought me through. I heard R. Kelly When a Woman's Fed Up. And I remember every day sitting on that couch, bawling my eyes out. I got so skinny. I got down, and baby, I've always stayed a size 14 or 16. I'm a thick chick, right? I got down to about a 9 or 10. Literally. I was skinny, honey. Even my belt didn't fit. It was sad. I was skinny. I was stressed on the other side of out. I didn't know if I was going backwards or forwards. I didn't know what to do with myself. I remember singing that song over and over again, and I do mean over and over again. Fast forward through years of his cheating, his infidelities, and him treating me like garbage. He finally left the other lady alone, and mind you, oh, I'm going to tell you, he got her pregnant. He had 2 kids with her. 2 kids with her. 2, y'all. 1 while we was together that he kept denying was not his. It's not mine. It's not mine. I went over, she called me and said, this is his kid, right? So when she had the baby, they told me to stay home when she came in, right, to the hospital to have a kid. So I did. And months later or whatever, he started coming home smelling like baby puke. I'm like, why you smell like baby puke? I don't know what that is you smelling. Something wrong with your nose. I'm like, it smell like baby puke. I work at OB. I know what baby puke smell like. He smell like baby puke. He sure did. Trust your gut, baby. If you think he cheating, he cheating. And don't hound him about it. Don't stay around there and be the abuser. Or sir, don't stay around and let her abuse you. If somebody accusing you of something, you know you're not doing it, leave that person alone, because either they doing it or they got some insecurities that you cannot help them with. Understand what I'm saying to you. And that go for male and female, and I'm not playing. You can't help people with their insecurities. I promise you cannot. You cannot. Unless you've shown them, look, I'm honest, I'm worthy of your trust, right? We cooking the slime out of the okra. I can't stand no slimy soup. I swear for Lord, I can't. I love okra, but I can't stand the slime. So I get that out of there. Anyway, where was I? Alright, so he started cheating with this girl named Quisine. I'm saying people's name, ain't I? Anyway, he started cheating with her, right? And so she lived in a whole nother city. She was so bold, she would call the house and leave voicemails, but she would say they were for his friend, not him, right? She would always say they for his friend, not him. I'm like, she was calling for his friend. She would never say him, but every now and then, and I'm so trusting, she would say, well, can I say something to Mike right quick? give Mike a message to, oh shit, I said his name. Y'all, I'm about to bleep this. Oh, can I give him a message to give to the friend? Sure, that's how trusting I am. Alright, so, alright, that's good. So I'm gonna add my mushroom. So I let him on, you know, get on the phone with her, whatever. She delivered a message. They was the ones talking. How I caught him was, like I said, he would leave on Friday, come back on Monday. Right? Now, mind you, when a woman fed up, ain't nothing you can do about it. All the while he was gone, I was getting stronger and stronger. He was a lesson. You understand me? He was a lesson. He was not a blessing. He was a freaking lesson. I put some sausage, little pieces of sausage in there. Give me a little sausage flavor. Yeah. Alright, so I'm finna add in some corn. I got some BAJA corn blend. Get that in there. So all the while he gone, I was getting stronger and stronger, right? Just stronger and stronger. Up. So one time I decided just to go on and go over his friend's house, where he said he had been hanging out with his little line cell, and sat there and waited. I sure did. Supposed to be going to church that morning. I sat there and I waited. And he pulled up and she dropped him off. And she took off. She took off real fast, right? They got so bold since now I knew who they were. They got so bold, shoot. It didn't matter what I thought about it, how I felt about it. Be honest with you, I think she was picking them up at the house. I don't know, y'all. Could have been. I'm pretty sure. Because the other girl could describe my whole entire living room to me. But yet, I stayed. And I stayed, 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 and I stayed. Until I got fed up. Do you hear me? I just put a little water in there. When I got fed up, I got the heck out of Dodge. I sure did. I sure did. How did I leave? He had got so bad he was dating a neighbor, the person stayed across the street, so he would go out my front door and go in her, go out my front door and go in her back door. And that's where he would stay. Whew. Chad, you talk about mental torture. I don't put me a little ginger in here, just a little bit minced ginger. Not a whole lot, just a little bit. Start, getting me some flavor going in here. A little garlic powder. Just a little garlic powder. Oh, ain't that much left in there. Might well go and put all that in there. And then y'all already know. Put some Raes in there. There you go, just like that. Anyway, so he go out my front door, go in her back door. He had done left the other one alone. I thought he was still messing around with her. Child, now he was messing over. I'm talking about when they get so disrespectful that they can date the person next door or across the goddamn street. It's just a matter of time before they in the house, in your face. You understand? I dealt with that. My message to you is run. Run and don't look back. Now, I finally left him alone. I got up the courage to say, look, I had started fighting back. I did. But I knew I couldn't live my life like that, right? I'm not finna keep fighting people to love me. That's not gonna happen. I ain't gonna do it. I started fighting back. How? I put a lock on the front door and I wouldn't let them in. I stopped answering my phone. I had put all his stuff out. Like, you can go and take that. Go. Time for you to not live with me no more, right? So I put him out. Told him go stay with his friends or whoever. I didn't really care. And apparently it wasn't that good out there in them streets, right? So he hung up his hoe hat and come on in the house. And he started treating me better than he had ever treated me. But I didn't trust him no more. The trust was gone. Do you hear me? All the trust. It wasn't an ounce of trust left in me. I had zero trust. I didn't trust he wasn't gonna wake me up beating the crap out of me no more. And put, y'all know that's my favorite, right? One of my favorites right here, the Italian spaghetti. Put some of that right there and there. I didn't know. I didn't know if I was gonna be woken up with my head being bashed in. I ain't know. I promise you I ain't know. And I wasn't gonna take the chances. So I decided, I told myself I'm gonna move out that town and you could come with me. Or not. I really didn't care. And I remember I left and he acted like he wanted to go with me all the while I would be, he would come visit me in the next city that I moved to. But he would be on the phone with the one he was cheating on me with that stayed across the street, right? So, I found out, because back then, you know, wasn't no long, when you call somebody, it's going to show up on your bill, and the people going to charge you for it, right? Come on here and start boiling. So anyway, I called the number, and I'm like, oh, hell. He's still with the shenanigans. So I said, look, you go your way, I'm going to go mine. I'm done. You'll never be done with me. I said, yeah, I'm done with you. Let me tell you something. This idiot put a gun to my head. A G-U-N. Told me I would never ever leave him alone. And I told him, I said, you are absolutely right. I will never ever ever leave you alone. Then I got the hell away from him. And he came to that house. I had some more company. I had done found me a new friend. One where back then you were taught best way to get over one is to get where they would say, I just don't be honest with y'all. If y'all just timid, just close your ears. The best way to get over one is to get under another. That's exactly what was told to me. Right? That's the advice. These are good friends. See, if you want Satan to get a message to you, he gonna send it through your good friends. He ain't gonna send it to you through a stranger. Cause a stranger, you got your guards up. You like, man, they talking foolish, right? Come on, start boiling. They talking foolish. You ain't trying to hear nothing they talking about, right? But your good friend, the one that got your back, your ride or die, your homie, if they want to mess up your future, when Satan want to mess up your future, baby, he gonna send the message through the one that's closest to you. Trust me. Watch your circle. Watch your circle. You hear me? Watch your circle. And yes, in case you want to know, because I did dip in and out my whole storyline on that, because I mean I could tell it to you, but I mean we're gonna be here forever. His family was in on it. They knew who he was cheating on me with. They knew. And yeah, they smiled in my face like nothing ain't going on. But I remember his mama pulled me to the side. And she sat me down. And she said, what are you wanting out of this? Because you too pretty a girl to keep being mistreated the way you being mistreated. You got a good heart. And I know I do because I cook, I clean, I take care of people. But that's all I thought my sole mission in life was to take care of people. I had to learn, I can't take care of nobody if I ain't taking care of Stacy. You understand me? But when he came over there, baby, I had somebody else up in there. He didn't believe me. I said, you come here if you want to. I got company. No, you don't. Nobody better not be there. He drove straight. He showed me. Come on over there. Come outside. I said, well, I'm going to come outside for. I told you I have company. And he never, ever came again. You got to run the devil off, baby. You got to run him off. But let me tell you something. That spirit transfer, when the devil wants you, he don't care. He transferred that spirit from person to person. Every guy I met had that same energy. Except for the abuse stopped because one of the guys I met after him put his hands on me and I tried to send him home to Jesus. I said, yes, sure, open the clouds because I got one coming your way. I tried to knock him into the next planet. Do you understand what I'm saying? And he never put a hand on me and he left me alone after that. Matter of fact, he started a rumor I was crazy. I'd rather be crazy than to be beat on. You understand what I'm saying? I hope whoever this is for, I hope you hear it, baby. Because I'm being as transparent as I can be. Alright, we getting ready to add our seafood, but we gotta bring it to a boil first before we do that. Now I want to taste it too because I want to make sure I got enough seasoning in there. You ain't got enough. a little bit more. It's good, but it just need a little bit more. And it got spice. I like that. So anyway, anybody say, oh, she just, baby, I'm the only one eating this. I'm going to freeze this. This is for me and me only. The only one going to eat out this pot. God has graduated me to an era of my life where I could take care of Stacy and Stacy alone. You understand me? Stacy and Stacy alone, and that ain't no lie. Alright, so anyway, I'm gonna put some I wanted to put some little I got Rotel in there. I want it to thicken up. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna put some coconut milk in there. That's what I'm gonna do. I was gonna put a little tomato sauce, but now I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna put a little coconut milk in there. That's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna add us some coconut milk. This is just something I'm coming up with off the fly in case y'all like, Lord gee, where did recipe come from? Out of my head. How about that? So I'm putting a little coconut milk in there. I might put a little. Oh yeah, there we go now. Man, put me a couple of bay leaves. Couple of bay leaves. There we go, just like that. Alright, now I can add in my seafood and shrimp. But anyway, the next guy I tried to knock him clean on into the next abusive guy I tried to knock him clean on to see Jesus, and I'm not playing, I sure did. Anywho, he left me alone. Said I was crazy. I take that. I take that over being beat down. I promise you I will. Alright, I'm putting in the catfish and the shrimp. Just like that. I told y'all I didn't put no seasoning on it. I did not put any seasoning, Chad. I'm gonna put that in there, and then we're gonna keep seasoning until we get it to the flavor that we want it to be. That's how that works. Alright. Woohoo! Be careful. Be careful. Oh Lord, look at that. That is beautiful. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Let me get it stirred down in there. Anyway, no other man has ever tried me when it came to trying to put their hands on me. No other man has ever. Do you understand what I'm telling you, baby? Has ever, because that's a spirit. But then I had to learn how to get the spirit of narcissistic behavior up out of my life. I had to learn how to recognize it. I had to learn how to recognize when someone is trying to lower your self-esteem because they have low self-esteem, right? The way you view yourself is not the way other people view you. So people were seeing me as this gorgeous creature that they needed to conquer. Like they was in competition with me. And that goes for both male and female. And that's crazy because you don't have to compete against Stacy because Stacy is trying to help you win the race. Now ain't that something? I've always tried to help everybody else win the freaking the race. Sure have. Alright, this ain't thick as I want it to be. When it's not thick as you want it to be, what do you do, class? Put a little cornstarch in it, baby. Just a little bit, right? Just a little teeny tiny bit. Just a itty bit. Just a itty bit. And it'll thicken up. Especially since it got the coconut milk in there. It's about to go down. But I had to learn that behavior. And then I had to learn why was that one particular spirit after me. What did I do? I kept treating people how I wanted to be treated. And I'm not playing, literally treating people how I wanted to be treated. Those people started coming back into my life saying, it was nothing that you did wrong. And I wish I could try it over again. Don't you want to give it another shot? I done tried giving things another shot, baby. That person's still the same person. You understand? When you put somebody in your rear view mirror, leave them there. That's why the windshield is bigger than the rear view mirror, because you can see going forward. Focus on that. It gives you a broader view. Things in the rear view mirror, because the rear view mirror is tiny, right? It's small, right? That stuff gets smaller and smaller. That means keep going. Just keep on going, baby. Keep on going. You hear me? If they cross you one time, trust me, they just waiting on the opportunity to cross you again. And it's up to you whether you want to let them keep doing that to you. You the only person. I promise you, nobody else. It's up to you. Whether I'm gonna put some garlic, I'm gonna put a little minced garlic in there. It's up to you. Nobody else. Can't nobody control that demon but you. You understand me? Can't nobody stop that demon from taking your life but you. You are in control of that. Love on you. I love me some Stacy. Do you hear me? And I will cut off anybody. That be mama, daddy, brother, sister, cousin. I have cut off some brothers. I sure have, blood brothers. I don't talk to them no more. Will never talk to them again. And y'all say, I'm be praying for that. Pray for yourself. Because that prayer ain't going to get no further than your mouth to your, wherever you speaking it at. It won't even exit your walls, baby. And I mean that. Anybody that make you feel less than human when you trying to treat them like, actually serve them like you serving Christ, because that's how I treated people. I'm a once in a lifetime experience. Do you understand me when I tell you that? I am a once in a lifetime experience. And I say that proudly. Because when I feel like I'm not wanted, or I feel like you just keep wanting to press my button, I'm going to exit stage left and I'm gone forever, and I'm not playing. That's not Christian behavior. Yes, it is, because even Yahshua turned over the tables. He sure did. Y'all want to make like he was this little mild person, just, you know, oh, well, babe, my child. No, that wasn't him. He turned some tables over. You understand what I'm saying to you? He got people told. He straight up said, look, you finna betray me. He called them out. I was raised the opposite, so therefore I went trying to be Christ-like when that wasn't Christ-like. That was what man wanted me to be. And when you learn better, you do better, baby. When I tell you I was abused financially, emotionally, physically, any way you could think of abusing a person, I was done that. You understand? And not just from that one relationship. I literally traced it all the way back to the relationship I had with my dad. How he treated women, right? That energy falls on your kids. Whether we want to recognize it or not. It ain't my fault. You might not want to take ownership, baby, but the energies that you put out into this world follows your seed until your seed decides to break the curse, because it's a curse. And some people don't even know they operating under that. Stop being selfish, y'all. Stop being selfish. You can't make nobody want you. You can't make nobody take care of your heart. The only person that's gonna have to want you is you. And if you don't want you, you doomed. I promise you, you doomed. Alright, so this story blessed you. Please leave a comment. If you have been in this situation, leave a comment. If you've never been in this situation, leave a prayer. Right? And pray that everyone that is in an abusive relationship, be it mentally, physically, emotionally, or financially, pray that they are delivered from that in the mighty name of Yeshua, right? This is like literally done. I'm just steady running my mouth with y'all. And I'm going to let it sit there. I'll be back because I'm going to cook me some rice, and then we're going to make us, make a plate. Yeah, we need to make a plate for pictures. Alright, we'll be right back. Now, I know somebody want to know what happened to him after all these years. Well, I'm going to tell you what. After I had done moved on, right? He decided he was going to marry the girl he was cheating on me with, you know, that stayed across the street, right? And he called me before the date of the wedding, and he said, I won't marry her. I will not marry her if you take me back and we work it out. Sorry, I had TV going. He said, I want to work it out with you. I won't marry her if you take me back. I promise you I'll do right by you. I still ain't got time for that foolishness. I said, send me the date, the time, and the address. I'll be there at the wedding, right? Now, you need to go through that one. Please marry her. I beg you to marry her, child. She can marry what the hell I was running away from. You understand me? Ooh, Lord. And I sure did. I went. I think I sat on the third row, second or third row. I think it was the third row I sat on. Sure did. With the family, I sure did. And when they said, speak now, forever hold your peace, that idiot turned around and looked dead at me. Woo! Shay. Y'all pray for her. Because she the one married the idiot. Woo! I got away, child. I got out of jail and hell. Do you understand me? And I know somebody like, ooh, that was just rude you went. Back then it wasn't. Would I do it now? Probably not, because I ain't finna let nobody treat me like that. So, yeah, nah, I wouldn't do it now. But back then I sure did. Sure did, baby. Alright, so I've let this sit for about 15 minutes so it can marinate some. It's not red as I want it to be, so I'm going to add in a little paprika. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to put just a little bit more ginger in there. Give that a nice little stir. See if I can get my color that I want. Smoked paprika will probably be better. But this is Spanish style, so I'm sure it'll do the job. Now look here. If y'all want to hear more of my tragic dating situations, please leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all of that. If you guys say, yeah, we want to hear about it, I'll tell you how I end up dating a married man that I did not know was married until his wife called me. That part. Yeah, if y'all want to hear about that one's a pretty, yeah, it's a pretty good one. Yeah, so anyway, it was like when I first moved out to Texas, like literally when I first moved over here. Yeah, just let me know. Let me know, darling. Alright, let's fix us a bowl of this goody goodness. Alright, we got us a bowl of rice. You probably can't see it because the rice is white, as it should be. Alright. I don't want no bay leaf in mine. Alright. Oh yeah, baby. Looks like gumbo, huh? Right? Same thing. Not. This is not gumbo. The habanero needs to sit in there and make it spicier. We're gonna put us some green onion on there, and there you have it. Catfish freaking stew. Something that was in my brain to make. If you want yours a little redder, you can use the paprika, or you can use a little tomato sauce, and that'll get a little redder. And you'll have the flavor. So there you go. Alright. If y'all want to hear more stories, just leave a comment. I'll be more than happy to share. Alright, I'll see y'all later. Love you. Bye.